What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Season Gaming Bitcast, episode 372. It is a fine Olympic Sunday coming to you this week with quite a few things to talk about, including the Xbox slate, some new hardware rumors, new game release rumors, and a bunch of other things to get to. But we have a little change in the cast today. Mr. Hoeg is actually taking a week off. So we pulled into our reserves, and of course, we invited back our number one Bitcast regular, who I continue to believe is the most tenured guest of the show, the host of the Xbox Expansion Pass, my good friend, and Summer Game Fest compadre, Mr. Insipid Ghost. You know him as Luke Lohr. How we doing, my friend? Well, we're off and running because he's on mute.
I'm doing well. Thank you. You told me to mute so the intro didn't come over. There you go. Genuinely great. Happy to be here. I love being on Bitcast. It means a lot when you guys are a regular part of my Sunday, and then I get to join in. So that's always appreciated. Hi.
Hello. Yeah, thanks for jumping on at late notice as always, and quite a bit to talk about. And funny enough, it just aligns with a week of Xbox dates and rumors and hardware stuff. So good timing, really. Mr. Tie Guy, you've got all of your favorite people in town for the Super Bowl this week, I heard.
Yes, my city's been invaded by the jocks and people from other states.
You're
the
not
lesser
a jock?
states of the union have joined me.
No,
no, it's fine. I've had some insufferable conversations I've had to overhear in elevators and whatnot. But other than that, it's nice. It's nice to see people enjoying the city. It's cool. Whatever.
Cool.
Oh, Super Bowl.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Yes, so just for everyone tuning in, Hoeg didn't originally plan to take the week off, so that's why kind of the surprise today. He just decided
motivated.
We talked about whether or not we should still run it on his channel. He wanted to, and so if you're tuning in from Hoeg's side of the house, obviously we're happy to have you. We hope you continue to hang out with us, but yes, he will not be joining today. So
some people just have no work ethic at all, huh?
No what? Sorry?
It's just no work ethic at all. Some people.
I tell you what, he just sleeps all day, every day. I
can tell
he plays indie games.
I can tell he was born by a C-section. The way he avoids labor.
That was an annoyingly good joke.
But anyway, we've got a few games that released we're going to talk about. We'll follow up on our conversation on Highguard, actually. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined is out. Like I said, there's some Xbox hardware rumors and some game rumors that seem to be very well-founded we're going to touch on. We had a Nintendo partner direct this week as well, and PlayStation has announced a new Horizon game that is vastly different from their prior Horizon games, so we'll touch on that as well. But as always, we got a few things to catch up with first. So a couple of housekeeping things. So the cooking video, after how many Bitcasts now? Like 7 that we've been talking about it. It is actually out. I had a very busy week as well, so I only got to editing it and finishing it yesterday. But it is on the channel. You can see Travis and I cooking things from the Eat the Borderlands cookbook. I think, again, both things seem to turn out well. The video is a lot of fun. You can tell both of us were exhausted during the filming of it over the holidays because we were both like a little flat. So sorry about that, but we still had a good time with it. And of course, the infamous Paul, my dog, who I share on the internet all the time, actually makes a cameo a few times too. So you can.
And funny enough, I watched the video. Funny enough, the dog starts lapping up water right when you go to take a bite of food for the first time. And so for like a little bit, it sounds like you're making that noise. I'm like, well, Ains is a really loud chewer. I don't remember him being that loud when he eats.
Yeah, just glug. Yeah, that was great timing by
your
Paul,
dog made an appearance, and then my mother-in-law made an appearance. We both had cameos. It was kind of cool.
She did, yeah. And was it cat or dog? Why am I forgetting? Or
yeah,
her cat
that was my wife's old dog.
Okay. All right. Just a reminder as well, the Season Gaming Fantasy Critic is live, and like we said, we're giving away games, gift cards, and some of the collectible limited edition tokens that are made for games. All you have to do, and Hoeg rightly called out last week that I kept saying bet on this. There's nothing you have to do other than make a few picks of who you think is going to win. So go on the Discord in the Fantasy Critic channel. That's up and live, and you can go in. There's links in there to just throw it up. It'll take you like 2 minutes if you want to be involved and potentially win some free stuff. So All right. This week, let's get over to Tide's picks. Tide included Luke this week, by the way. So she knew ahead of time. She still kept Hoeg in it as well. And I think this is in honor of Nioh 3, and we look a damn mess. I will tell you that before I put them up.
Right on.
Dude, you look like you're out of like emo Devil May Cry or something, Travis.
Yeah, kind of a Hideo Kojima game kind of character.
Pretty much.
No, I'm into it though. It's good. I look like I'm absolutely certain that I will be capturing the Batman this evening. Finally,
after
the
years
Batman
and
will
years.
be mine. After
And
years.
like so many of those people that have said that.
Yeah,
Work out for you.
kind
He
of
ends
a
up
little
looking
bit
like
of
that.
maybe Cobblepot's son is what I'm going for here.
Yeah.
What do you think, Luke?
Yeah. No, I think that's exactly what it
Yeah.
is. That
Nice.
nailed it. Like from Fox's Gotham. That's exactly what it is. Like
Yeah, exactly.
not
From the
quite
show.
the budget
Exactly,
we need.
Yeah.
We're gonna go for
Yeah.
it. Anyway.
Son of Cobblepot in Batman Beyond, maybe.
The
okay,
double
great.
A show.
You
Yeah.
figured me out.
Is that show on the CW, I believe?
It was on Fox.
Might as well have been though.
Had the budget
Yeah.
of CW.
With all the soft lighting. That show was weird.
I think
Let's see. We got Hoeg over
Luke
here.
has a look like something mischievous or devious is going on in his head, which is pretty accurate, to be honest.
I look like a creator character in Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah, kind of. You look like you're really excited about the tailgate party this weekend.
Can we talk about your hair?
I have long hair there, and it's not blonde. That's the confusing part.
Hair?
It's like spiked like a star. You notice that?
Yeah.
Oh
like
yeah,
pointed
like
out.
it's like coming out of his hair, his top of his head like a shoot. It's good.
Yeah. And I look like I'm reflecting on a lifetime of poor decisions, which again, AI is getting better by the day.
Yeah, no, you look like you're giving Nioh his tutorial advice and will never be seen again for the rest of the game. And Hoeg is the main character, apparently. Just, I mean, he's the only one who really looks truly appropriate, I think.
I know. He gets the protagonist look every time, I tell you.
Yeah. The things they do with his jawline are truly unconscionable.
I like that. I just noticed I have a headset on that's behind my head and still over one ear.
It's like you're.
I wear my headset like that, so I don't even think that that's that weird. That's when you have a headset on, but somebody's like talking to you. Surely
I like
you've
the
done
vein that's popping out of his forehead that says, "I'm angry, but I can't show it."
That's just the.
Again,
that's a real vein. I've seen that one most episodes.
Pops out when he reads the files and finds his name. So
that's right. Yeah. You paid good money to scrub it too.
That's
pretty
right.
upset.
I'm telling you, waste of money.
Yeah.
Waste of money. All right. Thank you, Tide, as always, for the laughs. Thanks for including Luke this week. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, boys. Let's get into what we've been playing. A follow-up on our discussion last week, Travis. So a lot of commentary on our Highguard discussion. We went into Highguard, and Luke, I don't know if you've played Highguard at all, but we had a big discussion about it last week because Travis was part of the media event and put some time into it. And as always, Travis, I think a few people thought we were arguing, which we weren't. But I did go back and continue to play it more this week. And if you didn't see, they kind of hit the panic button and released episode 2 early, it seems. So they added another character.
That was actually that was on schedule.
Okay. 2 weeks after launch, I had a character.
2 weeks after launch is their season 2, and then they're doing a season every 2 months. It was part of the roadmap. So the only panic buttons they hit was the base going live early Soulwell and the 5v5 mode getting added and then being added permanently like a couple days later. But other than that, all the other content was part of the roadmap. So they're
kind of odd in the sense of they already have another $10 pass that you can buy 2 weeks post launch. The passes, at least to me, aren't super interesting. But regardless, I had got about 15 hours or so, played it a couple times this week, played the 5v5, played 3v3, ranked is in there now. My opinion's largely the same in the sense of there's fun here. There's some solid shooting mechanics, everything I said last week. I still feel flat. Like when I play that game, I don't know why I'd be playing it over something else. And I think that's the the thing that we all deal with as many games as there are on the market nowadays is like, if you're playing a game and you're asking yourself, I could be playing something else instead that's either better or more fun. Why are you playing it? It's not worth your time. So I sit there. I wish Wildlight the best in continuing to update the game. And I think in time it'll interest me more as they, put more and more into the game. But for now, I'll probably leave it alone. It's not for me.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are probably going to get that way, and that's the trouble with having a game that is effectively like one game mode. Like either that game mode connects with you and you want to play it, or it doesn't, and you're not interested in. And I think that's going to be the big divider. I will say I like the changes they made to the game mode so far. They added points of interest this week, which basically means zones where you can find better loot, but because they're highlighted on the map, like you're more likely to run into the enemy there. And that means that the looting phase is a lot more action packed, which is pretty cool. They made that change.
They shortened the first phase too.
They shortened the first phase, and then they made one other
Very
change.
short.
I can't really remember
like 20
what it
seconds.
is. Yeah, it's a little too
they
short.
Added sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. They added so I will take credit in the fact that they've made changes that I said the game needed. So they shortened the first phase.
I mean, lots of people said those changes needed.
Agree.
No, Ains said it. It was just Ains.
Of course.
Yeah.
No, but people were like, no, you're not understanding the phases of the game. I'm like, no, these phases suck is the problem. So the first phase is very short now. They also added with the looting, as we said, it was too linear. So they added not masterworked, but like you can find better additions of the guns that have additional attributes, which I think is...
I saw a guy with a legendary armor, like in the second phase.
Which is needed, right? That should happen. There should be, if you're going to spend more time looting.
Yeah, that was one of my big complaints, was specifically the loot. I think the longer you play the game, the more the loot phase is not passive, because you start to know the maps and you kind of know exactly where like the high loot areas are. But the point of interest, just it makes it so that even if you're not an experienced player, you're more likely to run to those areas like first. And so I think it just makes the potential for a problem less likely, which is good. And then the loot problem was just straight up a problem. Like I brought that up during the preview event. I was like, everybody's got blues. Like, why does it matter? Everybody's got purples. Why does it matter? And their answer was basically like, oh, but the purples feel different. And I was like, nobody cares, dude. Nobody cares. They want to feel more powerful than somebody else.
Yeah, but I agree. Yeah, you got to have that ability. The other thing, this is maybe a me thing, as many of these things are. What I'm finding in the game, the more I play it, is the movement speed's too slow. And what I mean by that is it's a hero-based shooter, pretty much. And these heroes have these abilities. Some of the abilities are pretty limited. It's not like you have a wide range of abilities you can flex. There's a couple basic things for each character. But like when you're in a gunfight, you can't strafe shoot really, because your movement speed is too slow. And so the gunfights, the more you play, if they're not at long range and you're kind of using the environment, of course, but like up close, it's just like shoot first. You know what I mean? It's just like who's more accurate, which a lot of games have that problem. But I think if you're going to make a hero shooter with abilities, there needs to be a little more flexibility in the movement space. And it feels too slow to me in that regard.
Interesting.
Just a thought. So,
yeah, I haven't really felt that, but that's because I think the mounts are basically the sprint button, right?
Kind of.
I'm not sure if you played the new character that came out this week, but
I did.
Yeah, they especially feel really fast because you're just jumping into wolf form and running around.
I like that, by the way.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, but people have sort of been abusing that character because they'll like jump in. I don't know. There's something about being the wolf that makes it a lot easier to jump back into human form, but it's a sick character. It also makes me wonder why we aren't all just animorphs. Like, why can't we all turn into animals versus summon mounts? I'm like, oh, that probably should have been like a core idea of the game, huh? Like transforming into an animal.
Yeah, instead of the mounts. Yeah, that's probably another thing. But anyway, yeah. So Luke, you haven't played Highguard. It's free to play, kind of shooter with kind of Apex-ish mechanics a little bit in a way. It feels a little bit like that. Just not interested in it. You got too many other games going on.
Too many other games that I'm more interested in, and frankly, I've enjoyed the story, like following the metrics and the analytics of Highguard's kind of pre-release, then its release, having that big old, like, what is it, 97,000 players concurrent at launch, and then of course it dips down, and estimates are around 11,000 to 13,000 people playing on like peak hours across Steam, PlayStation and Xbox. I've enjoyed following the story, and I've had a vested interest of late, I think, and it's a bit self-serving, so I apologize, but like investigating games that have good gameplay mechanics, have something there, but don't launch well or just don't gain the audience. And so that has been kind of a focus point of some XCP interviews and some work I've been doing over there and just learning about it. With Highguard, I found the roadmap of bringing stuff out 2 weeks after launch smart. I think that's a good thing. You've got people, they're interested. The people that are sticking around are going to be interested to see what is this thing. I can stick around for 2 weeks. And then, but calling it a season 2 after such a short time is
weird.
A strange thing to do.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in watching this story and this game go, and I do think I'll check it out at some point. I think one of the things that holds it back is that 3v3 element. So I'm really glad to see they adjusted for 5v5, because when you have 3v3 for a game like this, that's a very small amount of people for what they were trying to do. There's a lot of game in there, at least from what I've watched and learned from it. So I'm anxious to see. Is it Wildgate? Is that the developer name?
Wildlight. Wildgate was a
Wildgate's
different game that also had a cool new game mode and then was forgotten about unceremoniously, which I think is probably what's going to happen to this game, unfortunately.
I think you're very right, and I've just, like I said, I've just been kind of watching titles that do this and trying to speak to their developers because I find that just fascinating. But I hope this game does get itself on track, because we need more real competition in that live service space to kind of bump people out of the Fortnite, Call of Duty, Destiny, Arc Raiders. Like, you need to bump that top 10 a bit in order for other games to thrive. And we see that top 10 really and truly kind of monopolizing gamers' time, which I think is one of the many kind of death by 1,000 cuts that are happening kind of in the industry right now. So I hope this game lands more properly over time. But I do think it's got decent, healthy numbers. It's the fact that all that spotlight was put on it that's making it look like it's not doing bad. I know a lot of games would love to have 10,000 concurrents. You know, they would love that.
Yeah, it got a little bump. I've been watching it as well, so it dropped down to like 3,000 concurrent on Steam. Again, those are the only ones we have specific numbers on. Got a little bump this week with season 2, but it seems to be coming right back down again, honestly. And like I said, I don't know if it's going to retain people from what Travis said last week. And Travis, keep me honest here, but the it feels like Wildlight is in a good place financially, so it's not like they need this game to be a success in the first 3 months or they're dead. So I hope to see, to Luke's point, I hope to see this game
they basically have a full year of content developed, with content coming out every single month of the year. Like, each of the 2 month seasons are divided into halves, like part 1 and part 2, and each of the parts comes with content. So for 12 months they've got like a character coming out every 2 months, a map coming out every 2 months, new weapons, like, this game has an opportunity to do it. I also think the Steam charts are probably even less accurate than they are usually, because this game has problems that are specific to the PC platform, like the fact that you have to do the anti-cheat through your BIOS, which people really don't like, and just some other like general toxicity around performance for that game. So there's a pretty good chance that like most of the players playing this game are on console. So I'll be interested to see how they're actually doing. Like, they might be doing fine. Maybe they don't need 1 million players, and with their roadmap that they've got and the budget that they seem to have, maybe it'll be okay. I have no idea.
Did you catch the quote from Mohammed? I believe it's Mohammed Alavi, the studio director or the game director. One of his roles there, essentially, he, and I am paraphrasing here, said that their focus, they don't need 1 million players. What they need is a dedicated core group of players that they retain, that is coming back. That retention is more their goal with a smaller group versus this mass shotgun blast appeal, which is
literally what Finals does.
Yeah, when I interviewed them, they said that like they want to make a game where it's okay if you just pop in and you play a couple matches and then you leave and you go play other games for a couple months. Like, they want a game that like people like to dip into and play every once in a while, and if they can accomplish that, they'll be happy. And so I don't know if they're going to be successful in like keeping interest enough for people to remember to come back, but it does feel like they're pretty good at hyping up new content when it comes. And so maybe I'll be one of those people. Maybe I'll be a weirdo who dips in and plays every couple months when they add some new content. But it's always tough to know if they'll find an audience at all. But like I said, like I think most people who've played it agree that it's got potential. It's really just like a matter of, can they fix the issues? Can they add more content? Can they make this game mode more interesting over a longer period of time? I don't know the answer to any of those. I would never have guessed that battle royales would have mass appeal for a long period of time, because that's also just one game mode that I think runs thin pretty quickly. But clearly I was wrong about that, and it's really hard to predict which of these is going to catch on. Like, I would have never guessed that Helldivers 2 would have been the big, huge success that it was, because again, it's a pretty basic game, and people were playing that for months and months, which is just completely not something I would have predicted. So it's tough. Again, I'm a reviewer, so I'll tell you if a game's good. I can't tell you if it's going to be successful. That's somebody else's job, and it's certainly not mine.
It's a well-stated statement.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No. Go.
It's a bit self-serving, but it ties into really well with something about Splitgate that I wanted to talk about, if it's okay to talk about right now.
Sure.
Go ahead.
So the idea of, like, you know, finding that core base, finding that loop, and to Travis' point, a good game, but is it successful or not? And the Splitgate team, I interviewed that CEO, and that's the guy that infamously wore the "Make First-Person Shooters Great Again" hat, if we remember that from SGF.
Yep.
I interviewed him specifically because the game was pulled. Splitgate 2 was pulled. They relaunched in early December with a new name. Think Overwatch 2 to Overwatch 1. And the gameplay, like, for the research for the interview, I started playing the game. Game is amazing. You know,
it's fun to play. Yeah.
It's refined in a way that I wasn't expecting to. And much like the finals, like having that core small group versus that big mass appeal, and then Highguard, really a lot of attention at a Keeley event and then bringing it back down. I find that very interesting. And so if they've got something good there with gameplay, if the team is dedicated to bringing out content, which Splitgate is now, it's just interesting to me to watch how finals, oh my gosh, the game we're talking about, Highguard, Overwatch 2, and Splitgate itself, but like how they can all launch well or not well, have numbers, people talk about it, make huge mistakes publicly or on the back end, or no mistakes at all. And what determines success, despite the game being good, is really fascinating. Yeah. And I just find that interesting time and again. And I really like seeing some of these CEOs come out and talk about this stuff, specifically Muhammad Alavi, saying like, we don't need that big audience, you know. Watching Embark do the same thing with the finals. Like, the finals is you get it or you don't, and it's not going to be for everybody. But people that get it love it. That is a very cool niche space to exist in.
And Arc Raiders was supposed to be that way too, and it blew up beyond their imagination, which I think just emphasizes the point we're all making, which is they just don't know what's going to hit. You know what I mean? Like, Arc Raiders, they had a plan for that game. I remember I was in all the playtests for Arc Raiders well ahead of time. And at one point, the community manager said they wanted to get to 40,000 members on their Discord. And they expected Arc Raiders to be, again, a game similar in terms of popularity to what we're talking about here. That Discord's over 1 million people now. And as we all know, and we've all talked about, Arc Raiders has blown up, right? It's been huge. And
under DDoS attacks, pardon me. Now, because
they've been getting attacked. Yeah. So, but is it, oh God, I always forget his name, the CEO of Embark, but they've talked about the fact of like, hey, they're now financially set, you know what I mean? Like, they are so dedicated to Arc in the finals and their futures. Like, it's just great to see good developers making good games and being successful, because too many times we talk about on these shows, like, a lot of effort, a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of good people put their heart and soul into things, and then they're wiped out. And it's
Knockout City, man. That's the one I think of
great game.
A lot these
Love
days.
That game.
It's like such a great game, and then like it just died, and there's really nothing they could do. They made a good game. You never really know, and it is really annoying from my perspective to see people online either cheer on these games not failing or point to the fact that they weren't successful at grabbing and maintaining an audience as proof that the game wasn't good. And it's just not true, right? Lots of good games aren't successful. Lots of bad games are. What's the most
Agreed.
annoying bad game that is successful in your guys' opinion? I got lots of them where I'm just like, how is this game drawing any audience?
I'm sure I could think of some.
Anything
I'm gonna-
Roblox confuses me.
Roblox is a great example. Yeah.
Truly, I don't know
5
how.
billion. 5 billion
5
last
billion.
year.
I mean, I don't know if
Every-
the game is bad as much as like the company and culture are bad, but like I get why that one caught on.
Every week, Travis, we start our Monday in my classroom about, what'd you do this weekend? And they'll tell me about the games they're playing. And I'll be like, what is? I've never heard of it. And they're like, oh, it's in Roblox. And it's just
Yeah.
a Dead by Daylight knockoff or a Call of Duty knockoff, or maybe knockoff's not even the right version. It's just a Roblox version of that. And I'm like, why play that over the other one? They're like, no, we like it.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
it's free. It's its own little micro community. They're like they're very deep in the they get pulled into that ecosystem. Kinda.
And it's not hardware intensive, so all of them can play
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And that's the other
thing.
kicker. A lot of times we
Access.
forget that. What demands your device push itself. The kids don't have that money. They can't upgrade that. Not everyone can, but most school systems give Chromebooks. Most kids have a phone that, even if it's older, and they can get in and play. And I think that's the draw as well.
Yeah. The way I would think about it, commenters, is if you try to say that games aren't good because they weren't successful, then by your own logic, you have to say that if a game is successful, it's good. And I don't think you want to attach yourself to that argument, because then you have to say that Destiny is a good game. And I don't think you want to do that.
How can one do
Destiny
that?
has been very successful over a very long period of time. And I don't think you want to say that Destiny is a good game. So
Destiny's the funniest thing though, Travis, because I will just chuckle because I was playing Arc Raiders with Joe and my buddy Kev, and we play Arc Raiders all the time. We're probably 300 hours in, conservatively across platforms, and we're bored. And I'm just like, oh, can we go fight a queen? Just so I have some challenge. And I'm like, oh, this game, man.
So it's funny you bring that up, because I don't know how people are still playing Arc Raiders. I don't understand it.
We've done everything. There's nothing.
That's what I mean. There's nothing to do.
And I'm like, Arc Raiders. And I'm like, I love this game, but I'm 300 hours in, and I'm like lambasting it for not having enough content. I'm like, well, I'm the problem.
Yeah, exactly. Like I have about 100 hours in, and I got to the point where it's like, why am I doing this? Why am I looking for cranberries? Like, there's no point in this. And so I just stopped playing it. And people, you guys are still playing it. Pomp, I got a bunch of friends still playing it who are like, you want to play Arc? And I'm like, not really. Like, it's a great game. I love it, but I've put my time in. It's fine.
Pomp's the best Arc Raider I've ever seen ever.
He's got like 500 hours in that game, dude.
I have
he better be
300,
good.
and he's so good. Like I'll jump in, and he's like, you want to do this? I'm like, yeah. And he's just that good. I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, but again, what are you doing?
I'm doing the same stuff over and over again.
Gathering supplies.
Sometimes I'll just go in and be like, can we go fight this thing? I don't care if I lose all my pinks. I'll go in with $100,000 kit. I'm sitting on 5 million in my account.
That's what I mean. Like,
all these
it's
golds.
not interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like the loop.
Anyway,
Fredo has entered the chat.
We have been. What happened?
This is all his pinks.
Where in the chat? What'd you say?
Dominic Toretto has entered the chat.
No, we're not bringing up that garbage franchise. Well, you were talking about garbage. See, it can be popular but not good. Perfect example, Travis. Perfect example.
That's a great example of popularity and goodness combined.
All jokes aside, you know how many times I've had to argue with friends of, oh, it died because it wasn't good. It's like, no, that it not succeeding does not mean it was bad. That's just not a thing.
There's
some people.
Things are hard. There's lots of games that never sold any copies that are amazing.
I've now we're going to talk
several
about
of them.
Horizon Hunters Gathering.
We're not there yet.
Asgard's Wrath 2 is one of the best games I've ever played, and that studio got shut down because nobody played their games.
I'll never get over meta. Oh, Travis, we can talk VR today. Ooh.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. We're already 30 minutes in on one game.
What do we got to talk about?
Highguard.
We're talking about Xbox again? What are we doing? Let's just.
So Nioh 3 came out this week, and I want to talk about it because it's effing amazing. Absolutely fantastic game. Nioh 1 and 2 were good games, I would say. They never were at the top for me for a number of reasons. Nioh 3, I played 11 hours in the demo alone. All progress carries, by the way, and that demo's still out there if you want to try it. I have another several hours in the full game now, and it is just incredible. I think we were just talking about Lies of P because I just finished that recently and how good that was for like a Souls-like. And Nioh is not really a Souls-like. It has soul elements, maybe more of an action game, I'd say. But I think it's on pace to be my favorite in the genre that's not a From game. It's that good. I love it. Love it. Love it. And I was playing it just before the show, actually. So what the changes they made to it, the combat style, the exploration, the rewarding kind of sense as you move through the game at your own pace and discover things, it's awesome. So highly, highly recommended if you've had any interest in Nioh or an action Souls-like type of game recently. Can't recommend it enough. And the review speaks that too. I think it came out in the high 80s. So already one of the top reviewed games of the year. So
that's right, baby. On my draft list. Let's go.
Yeah. Cheating as always you are, but it's excellent. On that note, let me get this super chat from our good friend Freight Conductor.
Freight Conductor, $10 super chat. Nioh 3 is awesome. Why is Ains ducking the JBC challenge? I don't know what that is.
I do.
Oh, we're going to solve this right now. We're going to put an end to this nonsense because here's actually what happened. So for those, that's Junior Bacon Cheeseburger, our good friends over at Nerd Chat. So last year, like, God, Luke, probably early last year, they were like, 300 subs on their channel. They wanted to get to 500.
Congratulations to them, by the way.
Yes, big congrats to our, they're good guys, great guys. So check it out if you haven't. But they Wally, who is Daddy Wally, who's their host, basically said, if we get to 500 subs, I will eat 8 Junior Bacon Cheeseburgers. I've guested on that show a few times. We talk every day, all of us, and I said, I'll do it with you, just to celebrate friends, accomplishing what they want to accomplish. So that happened for months and months and months and months and months, right? And holidays come up. They just hit 500 subs, I think in late November, early December. And I said, oh, when are we doing the JBC challenge? I had a couple weeks of work. I couldn't do it. And it's like, oh, we'll do it over the holidays. What Wally told me. Holidays come and go. We get to early January. Still nothing. I was like, when are we doing this? Oh, we'll do it with draft. So they have their own fantasy critic draft. I said, okay, well, that's fine. Well, I'll be ready to do it with draft. So then I ask about it week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And I'm like, hey, we still haven't done this. We haven't done the draft. Literally messages me and goes, oh yeah, we're going to just do the draft tomorrow. We're not doing it like we did last year. And you don't have to do the challenge. And I was like, why didn't you give me any notice? Like, why didn't you communicate with me? You didn't say anything. You didn't message me. So this is not on me. I am not taking any heat for this because it's nonsense. So that is completely on the lack of communication and organization from our good friends over there. So that's the end of that.
Here we go.
Luke's just smiling.
I just know Luke, it so well. I'm like, that's Dan.
Yeah, Luke has all the receipts with me. We know what happened here. So yeah, it's good timing that Luke's on the show this week because he can verify what I'm saying is 100% true. Anyway, Freight Conductor, thank you for the super chat. And do check out our friends over at Nerd Chat. It's a fun show.
I'm assuming you don't want to ask what the Junior Bacon Cheeseburger challenge is.
Oh, you just have to eat.
You just eat 8 of them during the show.
Bacon cheeseburgers on camera, which no human should do.
8 of them. Okay.
Yeah. We were going to eat 8 while we drafted for Fantasy Critic on the show. So we'd have about 2 hours, 2.5 hours maybe to eat a junior, which was going to suck. But I offered to do it with them because we're just celebrating the show. But lack of organization is a hell of a thing. So anyway, Big Memo, comment.
I'll read
Travis,
it.
Are you? I was going to say, Travis, are you alive?
Been a while. He's a member for 36 months, and we're really happy
I'm
for
looking.
him.
I'm doing tabs, guys. Chill.
He said,
Big Bad Mo 4,379 has been a member for 36 months and writes, been a while, but what is the panel's most anticipated, announced or not for 2026? And Ains, since the Infinite Sunset, is there any talk of new multiplayer?
Yeah. First of all, thanks for being a member for 3 years straight, Mo. You're a legend. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Let me get the latter part of this. So funny enough, I was playing finals last night. We were talking about Infinite. So no, there is no talk of new multiplayer. New multiplayer will absolutely not be coming until the next Halo game, which I do not expect anytime before 2028, personally. And I think, even that may be a little aggressive. I don't know if you've seen Mo, but several of the HCS players, the pro Halo players, have been talking about what they'd like to see out of it. But sadly, right now there's nothing going on. They're focused on, I hate even saying campaign involved, but they're focused on that. And they're just heads down working on the next Halo for the new platform.
Which I think that's better than not. I'd much rather them get it right.
Me
Because
too.
Halo, I mean, it deserves to be a legendary top tier franchise, and it just consistently shoots itself in the foot for one reason or another, good or bad. So I'm okay with them taking that time. And I also will say, just briefly, because you made it pop in my mind, I don't care what an HCS player says about anything Halo, because they need to be marketing and getting general normal human beings to play this game, not god tier players. Just don't care.
They need to do. Sadly, it's Halo, so they have to do both. And then what I mean by both is, and they've done this in the history of Halo, is they have a separate competitive ranked mode with unique weapons, unique kind of setup on
Like
maps
weapon
and
tuning?
things. Yeah, for ranked and competitive play, which is fine. But I agree with you. If you Halo Infinite, we were talking this conversation the other day, and we've talked about it here too many times, so I'll be very quick. But it blew the doors off when it launched. And as Travis and I have discussed many times on the show, they simply were not prepared to maintain that game and keep people engaged in that game. And so when you take all the issues they had with development of the engine and the open world and everything for the Infinite campaign, despite me adoring that campaign, and all the issues with their live service delivery, it just compounded into a game that did not hit as well as it could have, because foundationally Infinite is amazing, but there you have it. So regardless, I will say, and Luke, I know you and I think feel the same about this. When the next Halo comes out, and it is on all platforms, including PlayStation, it will be. So mentally prepare if you're not mentally prepared for that. I'm very happy for that, because all it means is bigger player base. And more likelihood of success. So,
I will echo that, because to be a Halo fan, let me back up. To be an Xbox fan means something very different than it meant even 2 years ago. And I will tell any and every person that to ask themselves, what makes you an Xbox fan? And for me, it was Gears, Forza, Halo. It was Gears, Forza, Halo, and State of Decay, and a lot of other things. And when I'd step back, it wasn't Game Pass. It wasn't the box. It wasn't the symbol. It was the games. And I want more of those games that I love. And this is what Halo needs to survive now in a modern time when you've got so much competition out there. So I'm very pro that. I do want it to go well. I'm excited for Campaign Evolved. I hope it's handled properly. I hope it's handled like Oblivion Remastered and then some, and not Gears of War Reloaded, which is a very bad upport of a great game. And so I hope it's done right, because I would love to see Campaign Evolved kind of be a benchmark for what you can do to an old campaign and bring it forward. Do that to all of them. So, it's different, but you're right. I echo that wholeheartedly. I just want to see the things I love continue and persevere through competition. And so if that means going on PlayStation, switch to anything else, sure, rock on. I'm there now, and I have to be there if I want to keep playing those games.
Speaking of, can we put Halo multiplayer on Switch too, so I can play against those people? Let's do that.
When people
How
say
about Luna?
Luna, that's what we're talking about.
Most anticipated game
mobile
was Soros. That's coming soon, Soros. But Gears E-Day is my most anticipated game for sure, which we're going to talk about shortly.
Nice.
You guys, what's your most anticipated game of anything?
I'll start with this one while Travis thinks. I'm really hard up to answer this question, because my most anticipated thoughts are dominated by the Steam machine and the Steam frame, which got a kick in the knees and a kick in the shins this past week, because that's what I'm looking forward to, because I have an entire library of things that I want to play not at my desk, not on my Steam Deck. And so that, I know it can be accomplished in many ways, but it was going to be a simple play for me as the console gamer to dive into that. So I'm looking forward to playing a lot of older stuff on my TV in a simple format, which is kind of a bummer. But Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, just because I'm a diehard Batman fan.
Looks great.
It does look great. I much rather would have an Arkham, but this is the next best thing, and it looks like it's made with love. Stoked for that. Really excited for Gears E-Day. Obviously, I'm tatted with Gears. Like I want more Gears. Campaign Evolved, I am excited for. I think right now there is not one singular game that I'm looking forward to, but really I'm just excited for good news in the gaming industry because I feel like every week I have to talk about negativity. So there's a lot of really good games that came out last year that we celebrate. There's a lot of stuff coming out that we celebrate. Lego Batman, Campaign Evolved, Gears E-Day are all on my high excitement list. Forza Horizon is going to be a game that I don't think about, but once I play it, man, I'm going to live that life. Right. And I also want to celebrate the games that are bringing content forward that I love. Right. Like I love Dead by Daylight. Well, the Stranger Things Chapter 2 stuff is amazing. If you're a Stranger Things fan, you can literally play Stranger Things in that game. Right. I'm loving seeing that. Sonic Racing Crossworlds is my favorite kart racer. Love seeing that more content's coming there. So those are some of the things I'm looking forward to. I'm planning to sell a kidney, I think, next week or so, just to get the Steam frame. So those are things I'm looking forward to for this year. And not for nothing, I really want to go to SGF again and see you. That's the other part. So.
Yeah. Travis, what you got? When you're not
my most anticipated game for 2026 is GTA 6, and I actually think that if your answer isn't GTA 6, you are being unreasonable.
He just called me stupid.
I think it will be once we see more of GTA 6. I still have this nagging thing way over here, which is like, can they possibly hit the heights of GTA, have it without having 2 of their 3 pillar people gone, and just let me finish. 2 of their 3 people gone, it being 13 years since GTA 5, only focused on online for the past decade. All of those nagging thoughts are over here, but in the other back of my mind, it's like, you're an idiot. Of course, Rockstar is going to blow the industry away with GTA 6. There's no other answer to the question. So that's where I see.
People said the same thing about Red Dead 2 after GTA 5.
Trust me, I know. I'm aware of the stupidity of doubting it. GTA. It will be the biggest launch of all time of anything.
Just saying, the correct answer is GTA 6.
Question. Hi.
Yeah.
Mr. Travis.
Luke Lohr, Xbox expansion pass.
Thank you. First time, long time. I am curious, when people say they're looking forward to GTA 6, what are you looking forward to? Because when I think of GTA 5, I have a vastly different experience than any other person in playing it, right? And I don't know, like, are you looking forward to the racing? Because the driving is very good. Looking forward to the shooting, the combat, the missions, the satire, the political intrigue. Are you 12 and want to go to the strip club? Like, what is it that people want to do in GTA? Why is that the attraction? Because when I think about the campaign of GTA 5, my strongest memories are not of the great gameplay, but of being annoyed with the political satire and the social commentary, because I don't like the real world. So I'm wondering what it is, because the game was incredible. But what do people want from that? What are you wanting to do? GTA is successful now, not because of the campaign, but because of GTA Online. What from 6 are people wanting to see?
Yeah, I mean, my answer is yes to basically everything you said.
Okay.
I think GTA is a lot of things. I think it is a kind of statement about what the industry is capable of technically. Like, they always release their games at the end of a console generation and remind you that, like, your hardware was being completely underserved for that entire time. I think that's impressive. I think their world building, in terms of like the stuff that they managed to shove in those games that nobody even knows is there, is absolutely insane. I love the real world and I love political satire, and I'm very excited for a lot of that in Florida, especially one of my least favorite states. So obviously I want to be there in a GTA game. And yeah, I mean, the online stuff I'm stoked for. I played a lot of GTA Online with 5. The jokes, the soundtracks, the radio stations that I'm going to listen to while I drive around. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for all of it, dude. Like, GTA is just a party. It's just a party from beginning to end for me, and so I'm stoked for all of the parts of that.
I'd agree with that, Luke. I think like it's a GTA launch, at least historically, is an event, and that the world is so vast and varied And to Travis's point, it's such a technical marvel, at least the past few have been, right? Where it's like you can just turn that game on and get lost, and whatever you do in that game, just outside of the main story, what have you, could be very different from what someone else does or experiences, just because there's so many layers to what's in those games. So, which I think is part of why I'm concerned. My mind is saying, can they actually deliver that same type of thing in 2026 or 2027 if it gets delayed again? And, you know, I think they will, but I still have that just small bit of doubt.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't care about GTA Online at all. I've played it a few times. It doesn't interest me. I'm just there for the core game.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I appreciate the answers, guys, because I do often wonder, unironically, not as a troll, what do people want from it? And so I appreciate the answer. Thank you.
That game was, can you believe GTA 5 in November and December was in the top 10 selling games of the year?
That's the thing. Is like, is this money laundering? Is it?
It's wild, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely wild. But anyway, thank you, Mo. God, man, we've taken some tangents today, but good conversation. So a couple other quick things to mention. So Dragon Quest VII Reimagined came out this week. Our review was up for that. Alex reviewed it for us, gave it an 8.5, and I think it's sitting right around there, like an 85 on OpenCritic, and seems to be really well regarded. He really liked it a lot. It's about Dragon Quest VII from reports. Originally, the original version could be up to 100-hour game, like a very long JRPG. And what they did here, they called it a reimagining because they basically made it more concise and streamlined it a bit. So in Alex's terms, he finished in about 50 hours. Still a long game, obviously, but he really liked the way that it worked compared to the original release. So just wanted to mention that. Sorry. And then Hoeg's not here. I wanted to honor him a little bit. I don't know if you guys have heard of this game that's sitting up here behind me. I got the physical. It's called Luto. Someone referred this to me. It is apparently a 3 to 5 hour experience that is psychological horror that is focused on death. And if you look at
that makes us
pillow off my chair. But if you look at the back of this game, it literally says in big letters, this is a story about death. And so someone told me it's one of the most psychologically wild games they've ever played. And so I picked it up. I can't wait to play it. I haven't played it yet, obviously. But I wanted to mention that. And if anyone in the audience has played Ludo, please let me know what you think, because it sounds absolutely wild. And I know I haven't heard anyone talk about it really. So, yeah.
Is that a Hoeg game? Is that why you're...
No, Hoeg usually pulls out games that none of us have ever heard of. And so to honor him, I wanted to just pick a game that I don't think many people have heard of. That's all.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Luke, what you been playing, man? I mean, we don't have to stay long on it because we've been talking, but anything else you want to just quickly mention?
Sure. And I kind of alluded to both already. Outside of Arc Raiders, I really have been, my wife and I have been going through Stranger Things as a show, which I'd never watched. So we started season 1 prior to Christmas. I know. We're almost done with season 5, so please don't spoil it. I'm not gonna watch the chat for a moment or two. But really, I personally fell in love with that show, and as you know, it's one of my favorite games of all time is Dead by Daylight. Well, they had a whole Stranger Things chapter 2. They've had chapter 1 and now chapter 2. Vecna and the Demogorgon and all the kids, save for one, are in there, and it's just really enjoyable. It's because the atmosphere is so good. They did such a great job with the atmosphere. You feel like you're in Hawkins. That menu screen, to the music, to the sound effects.
Cool.
It's really neat. So I've really enjoyed, I guess, that experience because I feel like I'm playing Stranger Things, which is fun. I mentioned my Splitgate interview because I played that game for research and was shocked. I was almost upset that I liked it so much, which really is a good testament to it. Is very good. Especially as an arena shooter and as a Halo fan, I was like, wow, this is exceptional. And I subscribe to trying to be as an enthusiast. I look up to different journalists, Totillo, Schreier, etc. And like, would they not play a game because they didn't like person? Why are you laughing?
I'm laughing because I just literally spilled a ton of water.
Okay.
Okay. I picked that up and I thought it was half full. It was completely full, and I just poured it down myself. So
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
But no, just trying games that I wouldn't necessarily try has been fun. Cool. And then I was gifted a copy of Trepang 2. Have you heard of this game?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Absolutely loving it. It is Ghost
Oh.
Recon meets Doom 2016 in kind of a
Okay.
double A format. Absolutely loving it. Didn't expect to. So
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was also gifted a game by the same developer, or not same developer, but by the same person, called Transients. It's new. There's a couple Transients titled games, but this one's new. It pushes my Steam Deck too hard, so I can't play it right now. Doesn't run well on Steam Deck, but it's from a YouTuber named Big Fry, which I don't know if he's good, bad, or a grifter. I don't know if he's great, nice guy. I have no idea. But the game is called Transients, and I'm interested to check it out because it was gifted to me. Again, I don't know anything about the YouTuber. I don't know if it's a hot topic or not. But yeah, I'm just those are the
Okay.
games that I've been checking out lately. And shout out to
Okay. Yeah,
Jesse
it
in
was
there.
made by Resurgent. Came out in December. Yeah, cool. I hadn't heard of it, so
Me neither. It was the first I'd seen of it, so we'll see what happens. And I see Jesse Norris in the chat. They rebranded their whole channel. So
yeah, they did.
congrats to
Yeah,
them.
Xbox Era. If you didn't see, Xbox Era is now referred to as Day One because they want to cover. But they were already really covering the whole industry, but they don't want to be known as only covering Xbox. And so, shout out to Jesse and John and our friends over there. So, yeah.
I'm probably not far behind them. How do you make an Xbox branded channel podcast nowadays, and it garner the audience? I don't know. So maybe we'll be the expansion pass soon. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Travis, anything else you want to call up if we were to move on to some of these discussions on the future games and hardware?
Currently playing stuff?
Yeah. Anything else you can talk about or want to talk about?
Yeah, not really. Yeah, my review of Highguard's basically done. I'll have that live tomorrow, but yeah. This week I'll be playing High on Life 2. Getting the code for that tomorrow, and my review will be up by Thursday because I'm a psychopath. And I'm going to hit the embargo,
Nice.
God damn it.
Nice.
Are you
yeah,
guys excited for Requiem? I cut you off, Travis. I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
Requiem?
I apologize.
I am absolutely
pumped Resident
for
Evil.
Requiem.
Resident Evil.
Yeah.
I'm stoked for it. I'll play it.
Yeah.
When's that coming out? Soon?
27th.
That's why I asked. I didn't know if that's on your slate of interest, but I apologize for interrupting you again. I think the delay threw me off. But
no, it's all good. I'm not on the review for that one. I think I'm on Marathon right after this. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Thanks, chat, for laughing at me for spilling water all over myself. I appreciate you.
It's pretty fun. Just another day in Ains trying to figure out basic
basic functions of life. Yeah. Lucius is here, a good friend, with a super chat. Let's get that.
Lucius Augustus Rex, $5 super chat. Why does everyone in the industry want GTA 6 to be $100? People can't afford groceries, but they want games to be $100. Skeleton head.
I didn't know people. I don't know why people would want this to be $100. I don't have an answer to this.
I don't think they want to. There was like a quote taken out of context by one of the studio heads of GTA 6 that talked about $100 video games. And yeah, I think that has just made headlines on multiple occasions, that story.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I don't think anybody, to your point, Lucius, wants $100 video games. I think that we could go on about that topic for a while, but yeah, part of the problem with the industry, as we've seen from some of the major corporations and major publishers, is just mismanagement and greed, as always, right, in the space. And then other developers are showing that you can make very effective things with a lot less money. We can call it Expedition 33 as an example of that. I think that's probably the one that sits up there as the biggest example recently. But there's a lot of gray area in that conversation, ins and outs. There's good and bad. So, but what I said the other day, because I think also, if I remember correctly, there was a rumor going around that GTA was only going to launch digitally, and I think it was Take-Two or someone came out and said that's not true. Like, it will come out on all platforms. And I was like, I don't see GTA limiting themselves on how they can sell that game. So yeah. Anyway, Lucius, thank you, my friend. Hope you're well. All right, let's get over to main topic. So a bunch of info came out this week on, and we talked about the developer direct a few weeks ago, but a bunch of info came out this week on kind of like specifics of the Xbox slate, but also future hardware. So I just wanted to touch on that because we talked about the developer direct and obviously Double Fine's game Kiln, Forza Horizon 6 coming out in May, of course, we talked about, but the other things that kind of were talked about this week. And credit to The Verge and Tom Warren over there for some of this reporting. But Halo Campaign Evolved, which we were just talking about earlier, is reportedly coming out in the summer, which means it's not even that far away. And the reason that they're targeting summer for this year is that they want Fable and Gears in the fall, which obviously I'm okay with. But I think Jez also reported that Microsoft and the leadership at Xbox are very big on Forza, Halo, Gears, and Fable all releasing this year to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Xbox. So that seems pretty stacked to me. I've said many times on this show, I still didn't think Gears E-Day was coming this year. Obviously, I hope it does. It'd be great if it does get delivered and it's amazing and has multiplayer, of course, because I'll be, head down on that for a long time. But pretty interesting to see if they're going to deliver all of this year. That would be a hell of a first-party suite of delivery, especially Fable, Gears in the fall, alongside what we were just talking about, the bomb of GTA 6. You think they hit this?
Travis, go ahead.
No.
What's no? You don't think Gears or something else or what?
Gears specifically. I just don't think it's going to come out this year. I'd be shocked.
I would be shocked as well. I just don't see it. I hope, again, I would love it. I just don't see it, but maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think they need it. I don't think it helps them. And I say that respectfully, but they're not trying to sell hardware. They're not trying to move units per se. Gears Reloaded didn't necessarily light the world on fire. They've got Forza Horizon 6 and Fable. Kiln, sure, whatever. No. It's just, no. I don't get it. Then they've got updates to Starfield. We also know from Tom Warren as well that you've got Fallout 3 Remastered is in development, but they're hoping to hit a quality bar, which I appreciate. I want them to do that.
For sure. Please don't just do an up-res.
That's right. Gears Reloaded is the most recent example of how not to do it. And then you can look at the Xbox generation that we're currently in. Don't do a Redfall, right? And with respect, I do not think Starfield should have launched. I think it should have waited. And I love Starfield. Let's not misunderstand, right? I want the brand successful. So when I go back to that, do you need it this year when you've also got Call of Duty to worry about in that frame? You don't need Gears. Do I want it? Absolutely. But you need to worry about making sure Halo arrives properly with Campaign Evolved, making sure that Forza Horizon lands across its multiple platforms, making sure that Fable is the game that everybody needs it and wants it to be. And Fable is a make or break title, truly. Because why bring it back? Why call it anything other?
There's a lot of weight riding on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you're bringing updates to some of your major games that are Xbox like related, Starfield, and even the ones that people don't think of as Xbox, like WoW. There's a lot that portfolio needs to manage if they're going to truly survive their transition into whatever they're going to be, right, in this next era of gaming. And Xbox has gone through a lot of changes to its business model, its plan, and so has Microsoft. Microsoft themselves, diehard Copilot, tell me what to do with my company. They're now walking that back. And it's like, wait a minute. What are you doing? Because they have shot Xbox in the foot, and then Xbox has shot their other foot at various points in the last 5 years. So they really got to get it right. They cannot afford to release a mediocre game for a pillar franchise. So nail Forza Horizon 6, nail Fable. And if you need to move Gears into next year because this year's crowded and you want to get it right, move it. That is fine. Absolutely. Nobody outside of this like group of people, the enthusiast people talking about it, the masses are not excited for Gears of War. they're just no one's talking about Gears of War over GTA and many of the other titles this year. So let it be a tentpole title of the best possible variation to get people in. Because, I mean, Ains, you and I have sat next to each other when we saw Ear Day. We lost our minds.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the average gamer knows and cares about Gears of War's next big title? I mean that sincerely.
No.
Do they care about Halos?
No. In fact, I think that's some of the best stuff you've ever said on a show with me.
Thank you. I love you.
I could not agree more. I say take the extra time if you need it. Even if you feel it's ready, it needs to be 100% top to bottom optimized and polished. And as we've talked about on other times during the show, the Call of Duty, the Gears, the Halo package that gets delivered on day one between campaign, co-op, and competitive multiplayer is not an easy thing to nail in in the current generation on all platforms. And as we're talking about with Highguard and many other titles, if you're going to release a full suite multiplayer, you also have to be ready with some serious support and engagement to keep people in that, especially with Gears, to Luke's point, which is not a forefront kind of experience or an easy to jump in experience like a Call of Duty. It's a very complex game mechanically once you get into it, and it can turn people off very quickly. So I'm with you. I think, especially about what we're going to talk about in a second, which is a new Xbox hardware potentially coming in 2027. I think take even more time than you need with Gears. Make sure it's got its own space and that it is 110% jokes, pun intended, of just like red, not pun, but like it needs to be more than ready, if that makes sense.
Travis, you're abnormally silent on a topic like this.
He's like, you guys suck and you're both wrong.
No, this is like the area that I have the least like skin in the game, right? Like I don't really care about strategies or any of this stuff. I'm waiting for games to come out and I'll tell you if they're good. I'm a simple man. Luke. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know that this, I agree that I don't think Gears is needed for this year. But I think more importantly, there's not really a lot of hype around it, right? Like people like Ains and who love Gears and remember the announcement are stoked, but surely there's more people who saw the trailer announcing the game and have not seen anything since and are simply waiting for the hype train to be created. Just based on what we know of Microsoft, they like to make it a little bit longer of a hype train than some other companies. And so the fact that it wasn't a part of their big developer update in January leads me to believe it's probably not coming this year. If that changes, great, but it's also interesting because this is like very explicitly not Gear 7. So I wonder, is it just going to be a filler game? Is it just sort of like more Gears nostalgia play? I could see it being a smaller type of thing. So I don't really know. I mean, I'm going to play it, but other than that, like I'm not tripping about this game or Xbox's strategy. Like they'll be fine. They're $1 trillion company. I'm sure they'll be okay.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I just hope they do Gears E-Day justice. I really want to see Gears. Gears is never going to be at the forefront of the shooter space again. It's just not that accessible, but I want to see it be very successful as it can be as a franchise. And E-Day for the hardcore people is a very big occasion for those that are into the Gears universe. So I hope they do it right. Don't mess it up. Yep. The other thing they said is, which I think expected for years now, is Xbox Elite 3, Xbox Controller Elite 3, going to debut this year along with updates to the current Xbox controller.
Now so that I'm excited about.
Really?
An update for that. Why not? What can they do?
At the risk of sounding, I don't know, doom scrolly. I don't know what the right words are here, but I have no confidence in their ability to build the Elite 3 based on the Elites 1 and 2's consistent and repetitive problems in a world where we now see Scuff and Razer making top tier controllers. The Razer Wolverine is the best controller I've ever used. And when I compare my Elite 2, which I once thought was so great, to it, I have Elite 1, Elite 2, but I've gone through multiple Elite 2s. Now when I pick up a Razer or some of the Scuff versions, I'm like, these are better. and I'm not confident in the build quality of an Elite any longer. Like, shoot, the Elite bumpers are so bad compared to the standard controller. So I'm just not confident in the build quality of an Elite 3 unless there's drastic changes. And I don't see Microsoft Gaming putting in the resources to build a controller for their fledgling consoles at the moment. Maybe I'm wrong, and I hope I am, and I'm not rooting against them. Please don't misunderstand.
Yeah, I mean, I remember having problems with the Elite 1. My Elite, I own a couple Elite 2s, and they've all been fine. Like, I haven't had to return them or had them break. Like, I remember that was constant with the ones. I think I went through like 6 of those. I just kept shipping it back. But the 2s were a lot better. I also think that the Xbox controller is just the standard for PC. Like, people on PC tend to just use that platform. And it also tends to be the controller you're dealt when you go to like press events. It's been a while. It feels like it's due for an update. I don't know what that
it's definitely
entails.
been a while.
Yeah, I don't know what that entails. I'm not like on the forefront of scuff controllers. I haven't been for a long time because I'm not really doing a lot of competitive gaming these days. But yeah, I think I think you're never going to, or it's going to be harder to move the controller game forward unless one of the major platform holders does it, because most people just aren't on Scuff or all these other websites that are kind of like still niches in the space. So I think when a new controller comes out from a major manufacturer, it kind of moves the needle forward for the whole industry rather than just for the people who are already kind of in the know. So I think it's good.
I know. I hope. But there's the Elite 2 is several years old now.
Yeah, it's quite old. I remember I think I was at E3 when they first let me hold that thing, and that was at least what?
Yeah,
must have been 2016 or 17 something.
18. Yes.
18.
Elite 2 I used at 2019s.
Yeah, they had it at 2019 too, but they first I'm pretty sure because
we probably had it in our hands like in 2018. I remember being like in the convention center with it and being like, oh cool, maybe this one won't break all the time.
Yeah,
like that was the dream.
Yeah. To the point, this is if you're playing on PC, I've said it before, this is the Wolverine Razer 8K PC dedicated controller, easily the best controller I've ever used, bar none.
Which one is what's the name of it proper?
This is the Wolverine, but it's the one dedicated for PC. That's the 8K PC version, so it doesn't work on console.
Gotcha.
It's like an upgraded Wolverine V3, so it's got better grips and TMR sticks and other stuff, tons of customization, but it's incredible. So I think that's what they do. People are asking what they add to an Elite 3. So all the technology on the sticks, the buttons, the mouse click triggers, better buttons, the TMR sticks, so you don't get stick drift. They can add haptics. There's a lot they can do compared to the Elite 2. The Elite 2, like we said, is several years old now. So anyway, the big thing that was mentioned this week, and we've talked a little bit about this, is Xbox hardware, actual console. So some reporting out of Jez and others, but Lisa Su, the head of AMD, was doing a press conference and basically commented that the semi-custom SoC will be ready for Xbox to support their launch in 2027, which reportedly took some of the people in Xbox aback in the sense of they have a soft launch target of 2027. But as with everything hardware related right now, as you mentioned earlier, the Steam box and Steam frame and things like that, it's just a mess with the global markets, everything going on in the world right now in terms of pricing and shipping and delivery. So according to the report, basically, as we've discussed many times, the Xbox next console will be a more higher end unit, the one that you buy from Xbox or Microsoft dedicated. It's going to be more like PC. In fact, Epic Games came out this week and basically said that they're going to be on the next Xbox on day one. And so like we've talked about in previous shows, imagine a console you plug and play to your TV, but you have access to the Xbox storefront, Steam, Epic, other digital storefronts right there. So the target is kind of like the Xbox Ally experience. Again, we've talked about that, but all of this seems to be coming together in a form that, that the rumors have played out. So personally, and I've said this before, I don't see the next Xbox launching next year. To me, it seems like it's probably going to hit 2028. And what I'd really like to see is 2028 Xbox high-end PC console hybrid with a new Halo. Obviously, I'm biased, but that's what I'm hoping for. But I think it's at least cool to see AMD commenting on the next Xbox chip and semiconductor, as well as that Epic is kind of confirming what we already said, is that the next Xbox is going to be this kind of hybrid experience where you can access all your games across all your platforms in one space, which is kind of cool. So excited to see what that means. And I actually wanted to ask you, Luke, because you're so excited for the Steam box. Part of that is due to the Steam frame, which I get because I'm excited for the Steam frame as well. But when I think about like ecosystem, and I think about the Steam box hardware itself, from the specs we know being really not super advanced, it feels to me like if Xbox actually hits this mark and they build a superior, higher end platform that does everything basically the Steam box does, which is connect with Steam, Epic, treat it like your PC experience, to me feels like Xbox is the better buy there, because you're doing everything the Steam box is doing, but I'm getting a higher end experience, which on your TV, which to me matters. But do you see it the same way, or do you see the Steam box giving you something that I'm missing here?
You're not missing anything, but I think there's a couple elements that add nuance to the conversation. Firstly, of timing and availability. I don't want to wait till 2028 because I agree with you. In realistic terms, 2028 is the likely time that you see Xbox hardware if they stay in hardware. Which, if Satya retires and I think it's Amy Hood takes over,
CFO?
she might spin out Xbox. I could just see that. Just the way that things are going, but I hope not. So Steam Machine is this year. That right off the bat is exciting because what Steam offers me that my Xbox does not currently is the ability to play an entire library that's not available on Xbox, and that includes PlayStation games, right? I have Spider-Man 2 sitting on Steam. I've played it on my PlayStation, but I recently got rid of tech that I'm not using. PlayStation's not here anymore. Well, now I can play that game again. There's also the idea that through very simple work with Linux, and I mean very simple, you can access your Epic Games Store free games, your Amazon Luna free games, to link into your Steam stuff. So for me, it's availability. I am just one of those people. Anyone can tell me all day long why a PC is a better buy in today's gaming hardware market, and I would understand and agree and acknowledge, but I do not enjoy doing that at my desk. I want to be under my TV, and I don't want to put in effort to get it. So the Steam Machine offers me that. The VR space with Steam Frame, it's just a more accessible library than what is offered on Quest, because Quest is dated hardware as well, and a bit more walled off, and Meta is no longer supporting it the same way. So I am excited for the Steam Machine because it's more immediate and faster access to a bigger library at this time. Later on, when Xbox does come out with their hardware, do they offer something that Steam Machine can't do 3 years later, or 3 years after the Steam Machine? 2 years later after Steam Machine, I should say. Will I upgrade? Maybe, but price is a major factor in gaming right now. Major factor. The Steam Machine's already more expensive than it was going to be. That might price me out of getting my Steam frame. Okay. That's just the reality, right? Like I am not hurting in terms of finances to eat dinner, but for luxury items that are now getting more and more expensive, I have to mind my P's and Q's. So I do think Xbox has an opportunity to offer something that the Steam Machine or even the next PlayStation may not do. When and at what cost are the two biggest factors there. And so that is how I approach that conversation. I will say tangentially, I would never be in this conversation had I not experienced the Steam Deck, which is now my favorite piece of gaming hardware of all time. Bar none. And I loved so many systems across so many different manufacturers, from Sony to Nintendo to Xbox. The Steam Deck is my favorite. It is my favorite. And so I am looking forward to what they bring about. And then there's the idea that they might launch with a reason to upgrade or a reason to buy. Is Half-Life 3 real? Do they have something in their back pocket? And I don't know, right? Like, I'm not pretending we think so. So I hope I properly answered your question. I also hope that Xbox's approach to having multiple ecosystems and multiple storefronts accessible via a Windows platform is better cleaned up from the ROG Ally experience. Because I do love that exists. I also was never going to buy it myself. I teetered for a bit, but I was like, no, unless they send me one, I'm not getting one. And they shouldn't. I'm a very small channel compared to $1,000 piece of tech, right? But like, I fix the problems that are there. There are so many little issues that they can clean up that the Steam OS has had the benefit of having the Steam Deck on the market for so long to clean up and fix.
Yeah.
So that is,
all of that's fair.
Yeah.
All of that's fair. I think your point about price and timing is everything in the marketplace. We know that. But the other thing that kind of came out, which is kind of interesting along those lines, is that they're looking to basically create the template for what the Xbox console hybrid experience is. And according to the report here, is that they want to be everywhere, which we've heard before, but that they'll allow Microsoft Windows partners to offer their own versions of the next Xbox console. And that sounds crazy nowadays, but for those who have been around for a very long time and are old like me, this is not new. You saw this with other consoles in history, including like the 3DO. You could get a Panasonic 3DO, or you could get a what was it? Not Philips CDI. There was another company that made the 3DO as well. Basically, they designed the SoC and the hardware at its core, and then other companies can kind of make their own version of that. And because this is more of a PC, you could see things that are like slimmed down, like a $500 version that's on the lower end of the spectrum. But the Xbox first party offering will be the definitive Xbox kind of experience and at the higher end, according to the report anyway. So I think that's kind of interesting too. I think it gets a little messy when you try to market and you try to sell in that vein. We'll see what happens there. And it hasn't necessarily been hugely successful in the past, but who knows? We'll see what happens here. I mean, I think the merging of the PC market and the console market by itself is going to create a lot of interesting wrinkles in the coming years. So see what happens.
Yep. I am just very curious what Xbox means to people that are like, why buy? Like who in the normal, like outside of our podcast space, right?
Yeah.
Who's like, I need to buy that Xbox? Who's saying that? I'm very curious.
I don't know. It's a great question because I don't know what this offering is that's going to be. What's unique about it, to your point, I think is what you're saying, is like, what is driving me to buy this offering over either a dedicated gaming PC or the Steam box or, maybe other options in the future. We don't know yet, but I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. Obviously, I'll be there. I'll be owning it all as I always do. But it's an interesting approach. I will say, and I've said this before, that if Xbox can successfully, and I don't have full confidence they will, but if they can successfully offer me, regardless of price, and I'm just fortunate to be in that position where I can, buy whatever this costs, but if they can offer me a high-end PC-like experience that is plug and play and functions like a console OS on my TV, that I can also access Steam and Epic and the other storefronts or launchers, I'm sold. That's an easy day one. It'll probably be the only thing I play on going forward. So we'll just got to see. Execution is everything. So,
and just a quick, I don't know what the right word is, PSA for anybody. Make sure right now, if you're listening to this show, you're an enthusiast of some kind. If you have access to redeem the Epic Games Store or the Amazon Luna free titles, do that. Because if this library does carry forward, why not? Picked up Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Never was going to buy that game, but now it's available. Game. And if I exit Game Pass, which I've not set up to renew, they've priced me out of wanting to support it, even though it's a value that is there. And I am an ideal demographic. I play Fortnite, but I don't want to support the cost that it's at right now. It's just where I am. Building that library somewhere else is of value. So it takes 30 seconds to go and check those out. Why not? So that's just a PSA for friends out there that are interested.
Agree. Travis, you all good, man?
I'm good. I'm here. Sorry.
Okay. All right. No, you're fine. You're fine. So we'll see what happens there. I think a lot of speculation, a lot of changes, and I think what's going on in the world is affecting all of it, which makes it even tougher to kind of not only for us to kind of talk about what's potentially coming, but I know the companies themselves on how they're even going to offer these things and when and at how much. As we saw with Steam this week, right? They're delaying the the kind of announcement of what everything is going to be with their new suite of hardware because of what's going on. Very hard to figure that out. So anyway, segueing into the Nintendo. Oh, wait, we got one super chat I got to get to real quick. Travis is back.
If I could say a few things. At Don Leinhart, $5 super chat. Hello, 2/3 of the Bitcast crew. Hey, I'm here. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined is pretty good, but slow. 14 hours, and I don't have jobs unlocked yet.
Mm-hmm.
Rolling over, laughing face. Crimson Desert hype is building. Yeah, JRPGs are slow.
Yeah. Yes, they are.
They are. Especially
Crimson Desert looks insane. It looks like just this huge combination game of things. I hope it lands well, but it looks wild, that's for sure. Don, thank you, my friend. Travis, sorry, yeah, I didn't want to just move on without you. I didn't know if you had additional commentary, but please go.
A few things I heard.
Yep.
Yeah, I think right on the money. If we can get multiple libraries in Xbox, that's sick. It also makes Xbox's like vision clearer. I think players right now are just confused because they're not used to seeing what Xbox is trying to do. Although, to be honest, you see it everywhere. Like the Xbox's strategy with consoles is basically Microsoft's strategy with computers, which is like we want to be in control of the platform and the software, and we'll offer our version of what we think the hardware should be, but we're not picky if you want to use somebody else's hardware. So literally what they do with computers. They make their own hardware, but so does Lenovo and so does Dell and yada yada. And they just want to be the platform that it's all on. And I think that's their approach with Xbox. I just think that once they release a new Xbox piece of hardware and they make that vision clear as part of like the hardware fundamentally, I think people's brains will catch up with Microsoft's strategy here and it'll feel less weird. I also think it's just going to be what all of these platform holders have to do because we're reaching a sort of like consumer threshold of like how annoyed we are by the problem of having separate platforms that don't play well with each other. I think it's pretty much reaching a breaking point. So that'll be interesting to see. I also just want to say that the Rogue Ally Xbox is much better than the Steam Deck. Just want to put that out there.
Do you really feel like that?
Yes.
Like, truly? Not a troll?
I own 3 Steam Decks, and those things feel like children's toys compared to the Rogue Ally X. Yeah.
I'm surprised to hear you say that because I use the OLED. I have the OLED Steam Deck, and I adore it. My favorite piece of tech ever. And when I look at the Rogue Ally X, because if I were to buy into that, I would buy the upper tier one. It looks very costly for minimal.
It is costly. Keep in mind, I'm not defending the price. The price is insane. I am very lucky in the fact that I did not have to pay that price myself, but it is a better piece of hardware by pretty much every metric.
Gotcha.
So
gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad
UI's better. More games run on it. Like, yeah, it's just better. I don't know.
May I ask you another question about it then?
Sure.
Do you think it's a reasonable thing for an Xbox gamer to buy into? And I ask that not as a troll.
No.
That's what okay.
Yeah, of course not. No. Like what I'm saying is it is a better piece of hardware. Again, when you ask my opinion, I'm doing a fully qualitative assessment. I am not taking into effects things that have nothing to do with whether the hardware is better or not, which is the price. But if price is something you're considering, don't buy the Xbox Ally X. That's an insane thing to do. It's way too expensive. I know that seems like a contradiction, but it's the way my brain works. It is better. Also, don't buy it. It's too expensive. That's nuts.
Got it.
Yeah. Fair enough. Well, segueing a little bit into Nintendo had a partner direct this week, and Xbox as part of that announced that they're bringing a bunch of their games over to the Switch 2, which is cool to see. So Indiana Jones, Fallout 4 remastered, and Oblivion remastered, all landing on the Switch 2, which is really cool. So you got 2 giant RPGs along with Indy, which was my favorite game of 2024. And so it's cool to see that. We also got kind of a look at broader third-party support that the Switch 2 is getting, which is also good to see. We've talked about on the show a bit. Is like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth Capcom suite, Resident Evil Requiem, Pragmata, etc. And then games like popular games like WWE, the PGA games, Reanimal, the Arise, Tales of Arise game. So all of those coming over to the Switch too. So for those that are kind of invested in the Switch ecosystem, or just like, playing on the go with their Switch 2, great to have more of the broader support of the industry on the platform. And then we got to look at a couple things like Turok Origins, Switch exclusive game Orbitals, which is a co-op puzzle game. I don't know if you got a chance to see that one, Travis, but when I saw it, I immediately thought maybe you and D would be
Hell
on
yeah,
something
dude.
like that.
Hell yeah.
So pretty, nothing crazy in the show, but pretty good just to see the level of support that the Switch 2 is getting.
The way that I spoke about this on XEP this past week was it wasn't notable necessarily that the games from Xbox are now on Switch 2, although that is notable, right? But I think what was to me stood out was it was so matter of fact. It wasn't like fireworks popping off. Yeah, Xbox is here. It was just like, nope, this is the norm. This is normal now. And again, to our much previous conversation earlier, is that that's what we need for those games to be successful, right? It's actually more interesting to me that we don't see Halo Infinite on there, or the Master Chief Collection, or Campaign Evolved, or some of the others that it's like, where is X game? But it was so matter-of-factly spoken, and it's right that Bethesda leads the charge on this one because they've been historically multi-platform as well. But just the way that it was so comfortably stated with no big fanfare about it's Xbox is what stood out to me. And so I think that's a big notable part, or a talking point at the very least as well. I hope more games make the jump if properly ported, if handled well, because I go back to, I want Halo successful. I need more Forza Horizon. I want to see Gears be celebrated. And that's just where I exist. So
yeah, I'm with you. And I'll play my Switch 2 a whole lot. I've talked about that many times, but when I'm traveled, being able to just load up a Fallout 4 and get lost, while I'm sitting on a plane or hotel room is not a bad thing. So agree. If sales of these games, as we've said many times, if you get another 1 million copies sold or whatever the hell the number is, right, of Fallout on the Switch, and that gives you more resources for Todd and team to work on Fallout 5, by all means, keep doing it. So nothing wrong with that.
Also, if Hoeg were here, he would be, I'm sure, mentioning the fact that Disney Dreamlight Valley is finally getting the Switch 2 update and the new expansion. That's been lagging on that platform, which is really crazy because I imagine most of the people who play that game play on the Switch. So
yeah, fair.
That's a good one.
Okay. Yeah. So overall, good news around. I like seeing this kind of stuff and more people playing more games. I mean, that's all it is, really. Then we get an announcement from PlayStation this week, which, depending on the circles you live in terms of the gaming community, either was terrible or amazing or somewhere in between, as usual. So a new Horizon game, which we knew was coming in some vein, and we've talked about kind of PlayStation's focus on Horizon as an IP. So they announced Horizon Hunter's Gathering. It is a completely different look than obviously the core Horizon games. It's got, for lack of a better comparison, it's got that Fortnite look. But it's a 3-player co-op game where you basically go out and do replayable hunts, which are said to be challenging. But you also have defined hunters and roles. So it's not like a Monster Hunter where you're creating your character and it's got that more RPG element. You can upgrade your loot and customize your look, but the hunters themselves are kind of predefined. And then basically they said Hunter's Gathering is a social hub where players can connect, prepare, customize your hunters, go to vendors, upgrade your gear, and then take off on your next adventure. So I don't know about you guys. I'm a pretty big fan of Horizon. Forbidden West didn't hit me as much as I would have liked, but generally speaking, I like Horizon. This game looks to me fine. It didn't really get me excited, but I also don't think it looks terrible. I think it looks well polished and developed, but I don't know if this is going to hit the mark for me personally. What do you guys think about this announcement?
Good, Travis.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of confidence in this project. I have not seen a ton of successes. I do not.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I don't think I don't think I've seen a lot of success in PlayStation first party with multiplayer in general. I don't think that it's what the fan base that plays these games gets excited about when they think about Horizon. So I think it's also like an audience mismatch. And I don't think PlayStation has done a good job of promoting or getting people excited about a new type of game that would appeal to that audience. So it has the three things that I worry about, which is like a talent mismatch, feels like something that they had left over from a different era of thought on the PlayStation side. And they haven't done the things that I would like them to see or would expect them to see when announcing a project like this. And then you've also got like the questions about the chops. Like PlayStation's really, they're only ace in the holes. They have Bungie, right? And I know there are some Bungie people that are helping them with this project. So that's good, at least if it's going to have some sort of like live service component or online capability. Obviously, that's going to be a big part to it. I think the beta will be pretty revealing. I expect this game to get delayed immediately after the beta. And I hope that they figure it out after that. But my guess is the beta is going to go over like a lead balloon, and then the game is going to get delayed, and maybe we'll see this game again later. That's my guess. That's my guess.
I'm laughing, but I can see it. So I'm generally agreeing with you. And yes, there is a beta sign up you can find on PlayStation Blog for anyone interested in this game. But yeah, I could see that. I think it's the same problem we talk about ad nauseum on the show, which is okay. So you made a game where you can upgrade your gear, but you're not creating your own character. It has to be played really in co-op. And it's PlayStation, to your point, Travis, and you're going to have to deliver continual content here. That could be a problem. Yeah, that could be a problem. Luke, what are your thoughts, man? You going all in on this? Did you already order the swag?
I did not. Very disappointed when I saw this one, if I'm being honest with you.
Okay.
Not in a, I don't know how to speak this without it sounding fanboy, and I apologize for that, but it just, who is this for and why is it Horizon? I think that is kind of the frustration. You look at all the IP under PlayStation's Pantheon, and it's like you have so many other things that I think would generate better appeal. This looks to me like you typed in to ChatGPT what you wanted from to be popular, to make Horizon popular. That's what it looks like. Now, could I be wrong?
Funny.
Absolutely. Am I rooting against it? Absolutely not. The game seems to lack a visual identity in my mind because it looks like an everyman's title. I hope it has an Arc Raiders type moment, because Horizon, I swear to you, it always frustrates me when I talk about Horizon, because we did the numbers yesterday on XEP. Like, Horizon's a huge IP, 40 million.
It's bigger than people think. Yeah.
40 million was what I looked up and found, like verified reported data from April of 2023 by Sony. This thing has 40 million people looking into the IP outside of its two kind of spin-offs in VR and whatnot. So it's like, okay, Horizon is popular, but I don't know anybody that's like diehard Horizon wanting this, right? And I think that's kind of the issue, is how does this match? Some people in our show offered comparisons to like Gears Pop and Gears Tactics. I appreciate the comparison point, but you're also wanting to appeal to more people with your brand IP. We see this successfully done in other franchises. I do think Hunter's Gathering is a very confusing title, and I don't know what it is when I hear about it. I don't know that people are like, give me a more Horizon, and I just don't know why this exists per se over the Last of Us factions, over using some of the franchises like Infamous or SOCOM or some of the stuff.
Resistance.
And 6 or 7 people agree with you, Ains, and that's awesome. Right? But again, I'm not one to root against a game unless it's Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. That's the only game I'll ever root against. I just am sad to see that. No, it's bad. I'm just sad to see that much like Highguard and Splitgate, and there was another one we talked about earlier in the show. This is going to be one of those games where it's like, right? Maybe we have a marathon effect though, bud. Like maybe we see the marathon, like, oh, this is terrible. And then people are like, well, actually, maybe. And we see it actually do better than we think. I don't know who this is for.
And our Exic says, we've talked about this a ton, is Twisted Metal Online. Where the hell is my Twisted Metal game? Like, to your point, Luke, it's like you have all these IPs under PlayStation, way more than I think people realize. And they're so narrowly focused nowadays. It's just disappointing. And Hoeg would be ranting about this with us if he was here, because he said this many times. It's like you have this tremendous library of IPs and you're so just focused on the same old stuff. And I don't know why you're trying to, it's almost like a square peg round hole with this game when you look at it. It's like, all right, we wanted to make a 3-player multiplayer game. Hey, Travis, I think you're spot on. It's probably one of the leftovers of their live service jump a few years ago. And now it's like, all right, let's put Horizon on it as an IP because it's a popular IP. And then let's see if we can make this work.
Yep.
And
it's 100% it's building a game around an IP rather than building the game around like a good idea that you have and then working backwards from there. And like, if I'm looking at PlayStation's portfolio of games, this is the one it's like the Lego thing, right? When they announced that they were doing like Lego
right.
with this IP,
I forgot about that.
We were all like, why this IP? That's such a like left field one. I think they're trying to make this a bigger thing and stretching beyond what I think its audience wants from this franchise. And I could be wrong about that. Every once in a while you have like weird niche successes. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I'm not particularly good at saying what is going to be successful, even if it's good or if it's bad. But like, really? You're doing this before you're doing like a Twisted Metal online game? You're doing this before you're doing, like there's just so many better IPs that you could mention that PlayStation has that feel like they're due for something akin to this. Yep. And I don't think Horizon's it. I think people who like Horizon are probably primarily players who object to the idea of online games entirely. That's kind of PlayStation's whole market, is people that don't like online games. So I don't know why they're doing this. It's a very weird pivot. It's a weird pivot and a weird IP to do it.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about
Ryan, is it? Did you catch what?
Say it again.
I said it reeks of Jim Ryan, like the era. Is that?
Oh, I think this is definitely part of the live service spin up from a few years back.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say it's a leftover of that. But to Travis's point, yeah, when I think about Horizon, and again, this is just my own thought, but I think it was a technical showcase for PlayStation hardware and the Decima engine. Aloy is the main character. The people I know that really love Horizon like Aloy. Whether you like her or not doesn't matter. The people who like Horizon like Aloy. And obviously you had you had the big exploration of that world, and obviously, breaking the parts off of the robot dinosaurs and kind of building and crafting, which isn't in this game either, apparently. So yeah, I don't know. It seems to miss all the marks of what, to Travis's point, people would want out of a Horizon game to begin with, but I don't know. So obviously we're not the audience for this game, and we'll see if there is an audience for it soon, I suppose. So
there's 3 people who all love this franchise and are not excited about this multiplayer game. I don't know. Maybe do like a little focus group on that PlayStation before you spend more time on this. That'd be my suggestion.
Yeah, maybe. And by the way, Luke, Resistance is amazing. They need to bring it back. I remember when PlayStation actually delivered shooting campaigns that had a multiplayer component that were fun to play, but a long time ago I realized
those games are not good. I'm sorry, guys.
Come on now.
You know why I don't like Resistance? Because it wasn't the DualShock 3, it was the 6-axis. No, because I played it on the 6-axis.
Oh, well, don't do that. Nobody likes that. Come on.
Nobody liked it, but you get the impression of a game. That's because I experienced it with a 6-axis. Truly one of the worst launch controllers a system has had. Behind the
yeah, I mean, the DualShock controllers aren't good. Let's just call a spade a spade. They're not good.
The 6-axis wasn't a DualShock though. Remember that? It was light. You felt like you were gonna break it. It was bad.
Anyway, I think that's gonna about wrap us up for this week, boys. Just a reminder, like I said, the cooking special me and Travis is out. Our DQ7 Dragon Quest 7 remake review is out. We also have a review of an MMO gaming mouse. I know that audience for that is smaller, but that's out there if you want to check that out. We've got a bunch of game releases this week if you're looking forward to things. So Reanimal, the not the true, but the true follow-up to Little Nightmares 1 and 2 comes out this week. Got a game called Crizzle coming out we previewed, which is a horror first-person shooter from the Blumhouse game studio. There's a bunch of other things. Mugenics, I know, coming out. So there are a bunch of other games coming out this week, which we'll maybe touch on next week. And Hoeg should be back next week as well. But Logan asked what brand Ains for the mouse. It's Hedgehog. Hedgehog Gaming did a mouse that basically is one of those mice that has like tons of features and buttons on it for the MMO players. So you may want to check that out. Steve reviewed it for us. Actually said he liked it quite a bit. So that's up on the site. But anyway, Luke, I'm going to pass over to you. Thanks for coming on short notice, my friend. Always good to have you. What's happening over in XCP land that you want to shout out?
I appreciate the inclusion. I love coming over here and I watch you guys every week. So this is a pleasure. And of course, Travis, it's good to see you as well, man. I always love to see your brain. So in XCP land, I've been working really hard on the back end of XCP, trying to optimize and fix things, bring old interviews forward, things that are 4 and 5 years old, like talking to Agent 47 himself and different people, bringing those forward into kind of a more modern scape. So I've been really updating a lot of stuff on the YouTube side. On the back end, I would love for people to check that out. Talked to Jason Schreier 3 weeks ago. Really enjoyed that conversation. Interviewed the Splitgate CEO about his everything from the hat to what's going on in that game, because I find that conversation just interesting. And I believe Matt Piscatella is my next interview up. Cool. I believe it's either this week or next week. We're trying to iron out the details there. But Matt Piscatella will be coming on to talk. Matt from Circana will be talking about kind of console sales, where we expect things to iron out this week and this year, I should say. I'm also hoping to speak to the people at Mind's Eye. If you remember that game and its bad launch, again, just something I'm interested in lately is like what damns a game to oblivion versus what sees it successful. Interested to see kind of where those go. And then Logan's got a preview coming for a kind of a smaller indie title that I'm interested to see kind of what he works on there, because he generally makes great stuff. He's very good when he has the time to make it, and so I always love seeing that. Cool. Yeah, Susan, the Build a Rocket Boy devs, they're in the news, man. It's I'm gonna ask them hard questions if I can get them, and that's the thing. I'm trying to grow as an interviewer, ask hard questions, put people on the spot respectfully in a good way, but also really teach it what's going on to listeners and viewers. And so I'm trying to grow as an interviewer and have those types of conversations. So hey, Logan's here. Good to see you, buddy. So that's what's going on in XCP land. Thank you for letting me plug, and I hope people do check out the channel, because we're really trying hard to grow ourselves and learn.
Cool. Thanks. Yep, love it. Travis, what you got, man? Anything you can talk about that's coming this week?
Yeah, so my review of Highguard is going to be live, I think, tomorrow. Final review with the score and all that. That'll be fun. After that, this week on the 11th, I've got a big old wet announcement for everybody. It's going to be nice and hot and ready and big and floppy, like a catch of the day. Big old wet catch of the day flopping about on your desk. Everyone, get ready. Get some newspaper, some rolled up newspapers. You can need those for my big sloppy news I've got coming on the 11th. I don't know what this bit is. Yeah, I've got an announcement I can't talk about, but it is a huge story, and I'm gonna have a preview to go along with it and some other stuff to share, and I'll be able to talk about most of it in our next show on Sunday. Cool. So that'll be a lot of fun. Other than that, I'm reviewing High on Life 2 this week, and I'm going to have that out probably on Thursday around the time the embargo lifts. Probably written only. Tough to get a video out there when I only got 2 days to play the game, basically. But yeah, that'll be me. It's getting a lot busier this month. Marathon coming soon. Got some games to work on. So also, I just want to give a shout out to Dan Stapleton, my former editor and a mentor of mine for over a decade, who is now a freelancer at IGN, one of my peers post-retirement, and he reviewed a game called Mugenics, which looks real freaking good, and I really want to play that game. But you should check out his review, because he played it for over 100 hours, and he is a very astute critic. So that's what I've got for you this week. Get ready for my big floppy sneaky news. Get ready.
All right. There you go, chat. Thanks for hanging out with us. Those on the Hoeg side of the house, thanks for hanging out with us, even though Hoeg wasn't here today. Appreciate you, of course. Enjoy the gaming. Go play Nioh 3 because it's awesome. But enjoy whatever you're playing this week, and we will see you next Sunday. Till then, peace.